You gonna sit up in my face with your 3 faces and tell me that you and Mendeecees did not have a conversation at that table in Roof Chris about him putting out a statement about him and Yandy not being together no more? We really gonna do that? And he said he did a version of the letter on ChatGPT. And then you started laughing back and was like, no, you gotta go back and rewrite it to kind of make it sound like it's you. We gonna say that didn't happen? We gonna say that didn't happen? We gonna sit up here and say, after he was digging in between your thighs at that Roof Chris, and he got up and went to the bathroom, that the conversation was, y'all, I can't. He just my friend. He just my friend. I can't. I mean, and then I said, Tamar, ain't he married? He ain't married. They not married. They just do that for the show. They not married.
The internet woke up confused, loud, and messy when this situation cracked wide open, and nobody was ready for how wild it was about to get. What started as whispers turned into receipts, side eyes, and straight chaos once the truth finally spilled into the open. Here's where it gets ugly fast. These sisters are out here saying that after a one-night situation with Tamar Braxton, Mendy ended up with an STI, and once that rumor hit the timeline, it was already a hot, stinking mess. The drama exploded the moment he finally admitted that he cheated on Yandy with Tamar, right after Funky Dineva pulled the curtain back on the whole affair. Instead of slowing things down and protecting everyone involved, Mendy hit the gas and made it worse. He allegedly started airing out Tamar's business, pointing fingers, and dragging her into an even deeper spotlight by exposing personal health claims that should have stayed private. And let's be very clear, Yandy is not taking any of this lightly at all. She's been firing off nonstop, calling out both Mendy and Tamar, making it clear she feels played, disrespected, and embarrassed on a public stage.
Now, Saturday night, we went to the Roof Chris, we ate, we had a good time. She was like, let's turn up for your birthday. We went down to the V12, shouts out to Vinny and all the people at V12. That's the video y'all saw, or whatever, with us walking in, them making a whole lot of noise. We left there. We all got in the car together. The car dropped us off at Tamar house. I didn't go upstairs. I went to my car. I went and met James Knox at BJ Rooster, and I came home. The next day when I woke up, I had a text message from Tamar at 10 in the morning that said, can you give me Dr. Heavenly phone number? I didn't think anything of it because people ask me for Dr. Heavenly phone number all the time, and it's typically when people have an emergency veneer situation. I did not think anything of it. People ask me for her number all the time. And then the next thing I know, folks is sending me this thing on the internet where the lady said she almost died and she was laying in.
From the outside looking in, Yandy looks done. She's throwing verbal shots, clowning Mendy, and making it very clear she doesn't feel an ounce of sympathy for him right now. The energy says she's focused on accountability, not comfort, and she's letting the world know exactly where she stands. This situation is about to get extra nasty in the reality TV universe because once everybody caught wind of the details, the secret started spilling fast. Everyone suddenly has something to say, something to reveal, and something to defend. The tea isn't just warm, it's boiling, and the mess keeps stacking up by the hour. Now here's the part nobody can ignore. Tamar wasn't joking when she said she stays on the front lines, because this situation turned embarrassing real quick. And while the whole thing looks chaotic, many people are saying Tamar played a role in how far this spiraled. As loud and confident as she is, this time that bold energy might have worked against her. Things really started falling apart when Tamar couldn't stop speaking on her former friend, Funky Dineva. And anyone who knows Funky knows one thing for sure, that man does not play when his name gets dragged. He doesn't dodge smoke, he addresses it head on, every time. Once Tamar kept poking at that situation, it opened the door for everything else to come crashing out. Then came the interview that shifted everything. Tamar appeared on a morning show where she addressed rumors that she allegedly hooked up with Menace a few weeks earlier.
I have always minded the business that paid me. That's why every time I seen Mendeecees out with, oh girl, what's the girl name? Angie, that's married. at MTK, and I seen them a few other places. And I got pictures too. I usually just mind my business, but tonight you really tried it. I told you not. How you gonna want to be a cheater and be scared that your husband gonna find out? You just created so much commotion tonight. Somebody could have ended up.
She tried to brush it off, downplay the connection, and distance herself from the situation altogether. But that's where the timeline started side-eyeing heavy. When Tamar claimed she barely knew Menace, people immediately called cap. There were already videos floating around showing them partying, laughing, and clearly spending time together. So the idea that they barely crossed paths didn't sit right with a lot of folks watching. That was the moment the story started unraveling. The inconsistencies piled up fast, and once people caught the contradictions, the credibility took a hit. It became clear that someone wasn't being fully honest, and the internet does not miss details like that. What nobody expected, though, was how deep this would go next. Reports started surfacing that Menace wasn't even denying the allegations anymore. Instead of pushing back or clearing the air, his silence spoke louder than any statement could. And that silence, it poured gasoline on an already raging fire. People started connecting dots, replaying old clips, and questioning past behavior. Suddenly, this wasn't just about cheating. It was about trust, loyalty, and who really knew what behind closed doors. At this point, the mess is layered. Yandy feels betrayed, Tamar looks exposed, and Mendy is stuck standing in the middle of a storm he helped create. Every move from here is being watched, every word dissected, and every reaction turned into content. And this is only the beginning. With egos bruised, friendships broken, and secrets spilling out in real time, this situation is far from over. The reality world is watching closely because the next move could change everything. Now, this is where the situation takes a sharp turn because what started as cheating rumors suddenly shifted into something way more serious. According to what's being said behind the scenes, Menace is now claiming that Tamar Braxton allegedly passed along an STI during their encounter, and that accusation alone sent shockwaves through the whole conversation. From what insiders are suggesting, Menace is standing firm on one detail. He says this was a one-time situation, not some long-term secret relationship like fans have been speculating. He's pushing the idea that it was a single night that spiraled completely out of control, and judging by how things turned out, it's clear he regrets ever crossing that line. Because if these claims are true, Menace didn't just walk away with guilt, he allegedly walked away with a health issue he never expected. People close to the situation say he's been venting privately, stressing that he got more than he signed up for. And now he's dealing with consequences that go far beyond public embarrassment. What's making the story even messier is the claim that Tamar allegedly didn't inform him of anything beforehand. That detail alone has the internet arguing nonstop, with some saying that personal responsibility goes both ways while others are pointing fingers and questioning transparency. At the same time, the chatter in the streets is ruthless. Some are claiming that Menace shouldn't be acting surprised, especially given Tamar's reputation for being very open about her adult lifestyle. Others are saying that assumption-based talk is exactly why this whole situation has gotten so toxic in the first place. Either way, this is not a good look for Menace at all. Admitting something this personal publicly has left a lot of people confused because this is the kind of information most folks would take straight to the grave. Instead, it's now part of a growing mess that keeps getting uglier by the day. And here's where Funky Dineva comes back into the picture. Behind the scenes, people are saying that Menace may not be speaking up by choice.
Part of the problem with this whole thing was, Tamar, is that I was never comfortable with the relationship that you and Mendeecees had in front of me, okay? All of that, you at the music video shoot in your booty shorts, sitting on top of him meeting us up at restaurants every time we met up, I was very uncomfortable with it. We're gonna say that didn't happen. We're gonna sit up here and say, after he was digging in between your thighs at that roof, Chris, and he got up and went to the bathroom, that the conversation was, y'all, I can't. He's just my friend. He just my friend. I can't. I mean, and then I said, Tamar, ain't he married? He ain't married. They not married. They just do that for the show.
The rumor is that Funky has serious leverage and may be pressuring Menace to back up his version of events involving Tamar. According to what's being whispered, Funky allegedly has dirt on Menace too. And it's not light stuff. The claim is that Funky is ready to spill everything unless Menace fully confirms that he and Tamar were involved behind Yandy's back. If true, that would explain why Menace suddenly started sharing details that only hurt him in the long run. Let's be real, whatever Funky has must be heavy. Cheating alone wouldn't scare Menace into this level of public admission, especially since he's been caught slipping before and survived the backlash. This feels different, more serious, and way more damaging. People are now speculating that the pressure forced Menace to confess details he never wanted out there just to avoid something even worse coming to light. That kind of leverage can make anyone panic, and panic makes people do reckless things. And it doesn't stop there. Folks are dragging up his past, reminding everyone that this isn't his first cheating controversy. From old side situations to near exposees that barely missed the spotlight, his history is being replayed in real time. There's even talk that he narrowly avoided getting fully exposed by other media personalities in the past, and that history is making people believe there's still more hiding beneath the surface. That's why the public is glued to every update, waiting to see who speaks next. At this point, Menace looks trapped between protecting himself and keeping others quiet, while Tamar is dealing with accusations that threaten her image on a whole different level. And Funky Dineva, he's sitting right in the middle, holding information that could flip the entire narrative upside down. Nothing about this feels accidental anymore. Every confession, every denial, and every silence feels calculated or forced. And as long as people keep talking, this story isn't cooling off anytime soon. The pressure is rising, alliances are cracking, and the truth is coming out piece by piece. Whatever happens next could permanently shift how everyone involved is seen, and the fallout is nowhere near finished. Things escalated fast because new information came in almost immediately, and the timing could not be worse. Behind the scenes, fresh receipts reportedly landed, and once those messages surfaced, the pressure went through the roof. The narrator explains that a woman reached out privately, shared proof without hesitation, and made it clear she wasn't looking for clout, just clarity. What really caught attention was how quickly Menace reacted. According to the narrator's breakdown, the woman says she was blocked the same day the messages came to light, which only raised more eyebrows. The block happened fast, almost like someone was trying to clean things up before they got messy. The narrator walks through the messages carefully, explaining that the tone was flirty, confident, and very direct. The exchanges showed interest going back and forth, with Menace allegedly responding in ways that didn't leave much room for confusion. The way it's described, there was mutual energy, not a one-sided situation at all. As the narrator puts it, the messages show Menace admitting he couldn't deny the interest anymore, suggesting there was clearly something there. The woman allegedly made her intentions clear, and he didn't shut it down.
Got word in real time. Some receipts were sent to us. We did promise the girl that we would give her anonymity. He knows who she is because he blocked her today. Put up the block receipt, Jasmine. That was fast. And, she got her receipts before. I asked her to send a screenshot of the DMs, and she did that. So let me pull up mine. So the voice note, we got him. Give me 1 second. He goes in the next text, like real bad. She says, you can have me. He says, I can't even front no more. She said, I'll let you have me. He said, we'll see. And then she goes, I will. She's from North Carolina, by the way. He goes, you be busy. And then she goes, so you don't want me? And then he goes, I do, absolutely.
Instead, the conversation kept going, hinting at unfinished business. Another detail that stood out was timing. The narrator points out that these messages were happening not that long ago, which doesn't help Menace's case at all. It adds to the growing pattern that people online are now connecting piece by piece. The woman is said to be from North Carolina, and while that might seem small, it became another detail people latched onto. Every clue matters when the internet starts building timelines, and this only added fuel to the discussion. Then comes the reminder that this isn't even Mendeecees' first cheating controversy this year. Just a few months earlier, he was exposed by Sierra Gates for allegedly being involved with a married woman. That situation alone caused serious backlash, and now this makes 2 scandals in under 3 months. At this point, the narrator calls it what it looks like, a pattern. When situations keep popping up this close together, people stop believing excuses. The audience is watching closely and patience is running thin. From the outside, it looks like Menace has been moving reckless, leaving behind loose ends that are now catching up to him. The narrator points out that this explains why Funky Dineva appears to have him under pressure right now. Panic makes people slip, and slipping leads to exposure. There's also heavy chatter about why Funky seems so determined to bring everything to the surface. According to the narrator, this isn't just about loyalty or truth, it's personal. Tamar allegedly embarrassed Funky publicly, and anyone familiar with his style knows he doesn't let things slide.
This whole thing was, Tamar, is that I was never comfortable with the relationship that you and Mendeecees had in front of me, okay? All of that, you at the music video shoot, in your booty shorts, sitting on top of him meeting us up at restaurants every time we met up, I was very uncomfortable with it. And if we gonna tell it, let's tell it all. So since you were throwing a party for a friend's birthday party, do y'all wanna know why I did not get out the car and go upstairs with Tamar when we got back to her house? Because after her and Mendeecees got through kissing in the back of that goddamn car, I figured they wanted to be up there privately. That is why when we got dropped off at Tamar's house, I did not go upstairs. I got in my damn car and went home because you was sitting on his lap in that goddamn Uber and y'all was...
When Funky feels disrespected, he goes all in. The narrator explains that once Tamar made him look bad on a public platform, it was game over. From that moment, he was reportedly ready to air everything out, no matter who got caught in the crossfire. The situation gets even more complicated when the narrator brings up a separate incident involving Tamar from weeks earlier. Tamar had previously claimed she was attacked in her own home, but said she didn't know who was responsible. That story immediately had people talking. Based on how Tamar described the situation, some fans started speculating because she had been seen with Funky earlier that same night. Those dots may or may not connect, but the timing made people question everything. As rumors spread, Funky found himself catching heat online, with some people calling him a bad friend and others questioning his character. Even without proof, public perception started shifting fast. The narrator makes it clear that speculation is running wild and not all of it is fair. But once trust cracks in the public eye, every past moment gets re-examined under a microscope. Right now, everything feels tense and unstable. Receipts are popping up, old situations are resurfacing, and nobody involved looks safe from scrutiny. One thing is obvious. This story is still unfolding, and the fallout is far from finished. The moment his name got dragged into the mess, Funky Dineva wasted no time clearing his name, and he did it loud and clear. He jumped online and laid everything out step by step, making it very clear that he was not about to take blame for something he says had nothing to do with him. According to Funky, yes, he and Tamar Braxton crossed paths that night, but once the event was over, he called her a ride and sent her home, no drama attached. He insisted that after that, he had zero involvement and absolutely no clue how Tamar later ended up dealing with serious injuries, making it clear he wanted no part of that chaos. But even though Funky tried to shut the rumors down fast, things didn't stay quiet for long. The back and forth between him and Tamar quickly turned messy, and before anyone could blink, Funky ended up spilling more tea than anyone expected. What started as damage control quickly turned into exposure mode, and once that door opened, there was no closing it. Things cooled off for a short minute, but that calm didn't last. The drama exploded all over again when Tamar sat down for an interview on The Morning Hustle and flat out denied the affair rumors. She didn't stop there either. She made comments that painted Funky as dishonest, which instantly rubbed people the wrong way. To make matters worse, she reportedly hinted at taking legal action, and that was the final straw. Funky clearly felt pushed into a corner, and instead of backing down, he came back swinging, dropping even more details and refusing to let the narrative get twisted.
Started putting you two together. Do you and Mendeecees have anything beyond this film? Or?
No, to be honest, I barely even know him.
Okay.
to be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not we're cool,
Yeah.
but we're not like my homie. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's not
right.
like that. And he just got casted in the film, and here we are.
And just when folks thought it couldn't go any further, Funky allegedly turned the pressure up on Mendeecees Harris himself. Sources say Funky wasn't playing games and pushed Menace to finally be honest about what really went down behind closed doors. From the outside looking in, it was clear Funky felt disrespected and embarrassed. And in true fashion, he decided if he was going down, everyone was coming with him. Now, while all of this chaos was happening, fans kept asking the same question over and over. Where was Yandy Smith in all of this, and how was she reacting? Well, insiders claim Yandy was far from calm. Word is she was absolutely furious and felt completely blindsided by the entire situation. Behind the scenes, it's being said that she drew a hard line and made it very clear she wanted Menace nowhere near Tamar ever again. As for the health-related rumors floating around, insiders say Yandy wasn't offering sympathy at all. Instead, she reportedly saw it as consequences catching up with Menace after repeated mistakes during a time when they were supposedly trying to repair their marriage. Sources claim she was more focused on protecting her peace than sparing feelings. And honestly, fans weren't shocked by that reaction. That said, public opinion hasn't exactly been gentle toward Yandy either. While many understand her anger, others point out that her hands aren't completely clean when it comes to relationship drama. Longtime viewers remember when Yandy faced her own cheating allegations involving a fitness trainer overseas. She's always maintained that it was emotional and never crossed physical lines, but not everyone fully believes that explanation. So while emotions are running high on all sides, one thing is clear: this situation has turned into a full-blown reality storm. Old wounds are reopening, trust is hanging by a thread, and everyone involved is being forced to answer for their choices in the most public way possible. And with this many people involved and this much history, it's clear the fallout is far from over. So at this point, fans are not exactly lining up to feel sorry for Menace, and that's just the honest truth. What goes around really does come back around, and this whole situation is starting to look like karma collecting its balance in real time. Menace put himself right in the middle of this storm, and now he's out here over-explaining, oversharing, and embarrassing everyone involved just to dodge whatever Funky DVA is holding over his head. Meanwhile, Tamar is moving like nothing ever happened, keeping her head high and acting unbothered, while Funky keeps the pressure on by dropping receipts and reminding everyone that he still has more to say. And then there's Yandy, who looks completely fed up, stressed, and emotionally drained, trying to hold things together while the mess keeps spilling everywhere.
Nigga, pizza? Yeah.
I bought this for myself. Are you glad you have it now?
I
Are you glad someone
mean,
pushed you into getting it?
Huh?
Are you glad someone pushed you into getting it?
Well, yeah, I mean, you got it for me, so it's not like I did it for myself.
The craziest part is that the chaos is not slowing down at all. If Tamar really decides to push forward with legal action, things could get even uglier because that move might open doors she doesn't want opened. Lawsuits have a way of dragging every secret into the spotlight, and this situation already feels one step away from exploding. What really has people talking is how Menace even ended up admitting to personal health issues in the first place, because that doesn't just slip out for no reason. Whatever Funky has must be serious, and sooner or later, the full story is bound to surface. One thing is clear though, this drama is nowhere near finished. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss a single update. Check out the next video popping up on your screen right now for even more celebrity drama, and I'll see you on the next one.